righty. Well, in the words of the Truman Show, I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending upon where you may happen to be located in the world. My name is Sam Thompson, and I am with RingCentral. I am the Senior Partner Field Sales Trainer, and I'm going to be conducting the RingCentral portion of our presentation today. But before we get started there, I just want to go over a couple of logistics for you. And I'm going to turn it over to Gary to talk about iBank on IT and what they do and what they bring to the table, and allow him to welcome you all for being here today as well. Across the bottom of your screen, you'll see a chat box. So if you want to have conversations with us, you can just kind of type in there. Also, if you have any questions, we will have time at the end of the presentation for Q&A. But if something pops up in your head and you're afraid you might forget, please use the Q&A box that allows us to keep track of any questions that might come in that are not asked over audio, but also it allows us, if there are any stumper questions or things that we can't answer for you today, that allows for us to keep track of those and then be able to get the answer back to you after the class is over. One other thing I'd like to point out, because this is a lunch and learn, you will all be receiving Grubhub gift cards that will be sent out to you. So as you're logging in, we do have our field marketing representative tracking those and getting those email addresses and making sure that we get those Grubhubs to you. We're also going to be giving away some gift cards at the end. So we are hoping that you will pay attention, because I will be asking some questions at the end, and you'll utilize the chat box to answer those questions. And I'll be giving away some Visa gift cards at the very end to see how well did you listen to us today. So pay attention, because there's money to be had. With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Gary to introduce iBank on IT.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. If you could, can you go to the next slide, Sam?
Absolutely.
Yep. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining our webinar about enabling your remote workforce. We're partnering with RingCentral to provide you with what we think it might be a critical opportunity to look at, unified communications as a service. So one of the things that iBank on IT does is help support our customers with IT and telecom services. We've actually been in business for a little bit more than 25 years, and we really try to take a customer-first approach in working with our customers to help them. So we're hoping today that you'll learn a lot, and if there's anything we can do to help you learn more about RingCentral, then we're here to support that. Next slide. So one of the things that we think differentiate iBank from our competition and from other IT service providers is really our approach and what we do to work with customers. And so our approach really is a 5-step process. We like to understand and assess the needs of the customer, make sure that we understand not only those today, but as they move further down the technology stack for the future. And then we come up with a game plan to try to help support that, whether it's a phased approach or if it's something that we need to do over a period of time. And then we implement that, manage it if need be. We can provide managed services where you can manage it yourself, and we can just turn it over and do a knowledge transfer to you. And then we're constantly looking at those services that we implemented to make sure that we're providing the right results and helping our customers in the way that we set the right expectations, and looking to see if there's anything we can improve along the way, because technology is changing all the time. Companies' business needs are changing all the time. And so you should be constantly evaluating that. And so we have these 5 principles that we use in our process, and we feel that it's been very helpful in helping our customers. Next slide, please. So one of the things that we think that also brings value to our customers in dealing with iBank is that we're really flexible and easy to work with. We're a small organization. We have about 20 employees totally, but we really try to give a good customer experience. We try to make it easy to deal with, and really work within the confines of what the organization is looking for. We also try to make sure that we leverage any current infrastructure that you might already have or investments that you have without having to spend a lot of new dollars. We're also very, very responsive. So we think that's very important in today's market, is to be able to respond quickly to customers' needs. We're competitively priced, and we have the right people, the processes, and the technology to help organizations of just about any size across any IT projects. Glad to help you in any way possible, in particular with UCaaS and the presentation we're doing with RingCentral. Next slide. So one of the things that we do besides UCaaS is IT management and help desk support. So if you have any help or need any help there, we can help you with that. We also do IT strategy and consulting. Obviously, telecom services with UCaaS, RingCentral, data center and cloud services, security, enterprise, hardware. So we're across pretty much the entire technology stack and helping our customers, not just in one particular area. Next slide. And so with that, I'll turn it over to you, Sam, and let you talk a little bit more about RingCentral, and appreciate the opportunity to reach everybody today, and hopefully you'll find this to be informative. Sam?
You there, Sam?
She was on mute.
Sam should be here. I think I have to work on her muting. Give us 1 sec. Sorry, everyone.
Okay, here I am. All right, let me share again. Looks like I had gotten accidentally muted, but I'm back with a vengeance, as they say. All right. All righty. So, as I was about to say, the way we work has changed. The way that we look at work and the way that we perceive work has changed really since March or so. And 75 million people around the globe in about 150 countries have been impacted by COVID. And some good things have actually come about from this. The first thing is Gartner did a survey of about 315 CFOs around the country. And what they found was these CFOs, 74% of them said that they intend to shift between 18 and 20% of their previous in-office workforce to a permanently remote workforce. And that's because they have seen some benefits in having people work remotely. Now, they did some surveys also of employees around the country, and 41% of those employees that were surveyed or asked questions said that they would like to work remote at least sometimes. So having the flexibility to not go into the office all the time is attractive to people because we've seen we can actually do this and be, in a lot of instances, more productive at home or in a remote environment than we are in an office. Which leads to bullet number 3. 85% of businesses confirmed that productivity has increased because of the greater flexibility with working remote for their employees. So the COVID situation has really kind of helped shift the mind share of a lot of key decision makers in businesses, both large, medium, and small. So they're seeing that our work isn't something, or work isn't someplace we go, it's something we do. And providing the proper tools and technology to be able to do your job wherever you may happen to be is a benefit both to the business and to its employee base. There are some things to think about when you're creating a business continuity plan for your remote workforce. So are they working, and do they have children or spouses or whatever working at home as well? Because there's some technology issues that need to be considered. And then also, how do I communicate with both my internal customer, employees, and my external customer? Somebody needs to go on mute. And my external customers, which would be my actual customer base. And then how do I help keep my employees stress-free and keep their mental health going? Because for some employees, maybe remote all the time is not a good fit for them. So some things to consider as you're shifting and trying to make sure that the workforce and the environment and the organization stays productive. The employee environment is important. Do they have proper technology at home to support the type of work that they're expected to be able to do? And again, thinking about, are there children at home, sharing that bandwidth? Will the quality of the voice, if they have to be on the phone, or the quality of their data be what you need it to be in order for them to be successful? A lot of businesses are looking at supplementing the cost of internet so that their employees that are in areas where they can have a higher speed will be able to provide that for their employee base. So helping to supplement the cost so that everyone in that household or in that remote environment has the tools that they need. The way we manage people is also very different than maybe in a traditional office setting. So the way that you communicate, maybe there's going to be a weekly or maybe even every other day, you just get on video and have some human contact with your employee base to kind of see how they're doing. Some companies are doing a daily launch pad with the entire team joining a call to make sure that everyone knows what everyone else is doing and making sure that the allocation of work is even and everyone, again, they'll have their marching orders, if you will. Also, these remote meetings and these remote touch bases are going to be important to make sure that your employees are caring for themselves. So I was mentioning that, or Shannon was mentioning earlier that I'd been sick a couple of weeks ago, and she came by to see me because we live pretty close to each other, but she just wanted to make sure that I was taking care of myself after I had not been feeling well for a few days. And that's important that people not forget that they are still part of a greater whole. And RingCentral provides technology to help you keep those connections going. The way that we do that is through what we like to call MVP. So message, video, phone. And we have message first because that really is the primary way that we as humans, not just employees, but we communicate via messaging. It's quick, it's easy, it's a nice turnaround, and it's always available for the most part. Video is a way to get that human connection. I need to see someone else's face, or sometimes you just want to look into someone else's eyes. So the video component that we have is very, very strong and allows for that connection. Phone is not going away. It's very critical. It's important as well. And I like to say that sometimes if you've got a long message string going on, there can be a disconnect between keyboard and brain. So you may want to just pick up the phone and talk a situation out, or talk out a challenge or an issue that has presented itself so that you can get resolution a little bit faster. Let's look at each of these a little bit more closely. This is the RingCentral desktop. You'll see that everything is all in one place. So you're not having to jump from screen to screen to screen in order to get things completed. You'll see that your messaging is there. So if you look on the bottom left of the screenshot here, there's about 39 messages for this person. They've got 99 phone calls. So apparently this person does not do a lot of voice. If I were them, I'd check that out. But the voice does keep track of your inbound, your outbound, your missed calls, your voicemails. All of that is going to be encompassed under that handset icon. And just to the right of that, you'll see the video camera. So any conversation, whether it's a message or even a phone conversation, can be escalated to video with a simple click. In regards to messaging, it is team-based messaging, but one of the things that separates or differentiates RingCentral is that you don't have to be on RingCentral in order to enjoy the benefits of our messaging. So if you've got customers or clients that are external and you're on RingCentral, you can still use our messaging tool to communicate with them via a free download of an app that they can put on their phones or their desktops. You can be alerted when someone has mentioned you or has messaged you so that you can, again, have that timely communications with things. Now, here are the reasons that I love our messaging the most. One, real-time file sharing. In email, if I'm in my Outlook and I need to send a PowerPoint presentation to one of my coworkers, 99% of the time, it's going to be too big. And I'm going to get that pop-up box from IT that says, this exceeds your limit, Sam. But if I come into the RingCentral messaging app, I can send Shannon my document, or I can send her the deck, and she can review it for me, make edits if need be, and then send it back. And if I need to do those corrections and take a look at it and send it again, it remembers what was already sent and says, hey, do you want to just update what's already here? Absolutely, I do. And in one click, it just updates it so we can stay on the same page, collaborating with one another, even though we might not be in the same physical space. The other thing that I like about it is that anything that I post out there is there until I delete it. So if there's a message or if there was a project that I was a part of and I need to go back a month ago.
So if you are
So if I need to go back a month or so in order to look at something, it's going to still be there. That's really cool. And then we know that, not work is not all serious all the time. So you can do fun little things like send memes, and you can send emojis and GIFs and things like that. So that's kind of fun too. The video, as I mentioned before, is a way for people to stay connected in a more humanistic kind of way. My boss and I have a weekly one-on-one that we do by video just so that I can see another person. I happen to live in Charlotte, North Carolina. The preponderance of my team is in Denver, Colorado. And so I don't really get to see them even when we were in an office situation. So this is just an extension of what we have been doing all along. But once a week, I get to see my team, and I get to see my boss one-on-one once a week via our video solution. So it makes me feel very more connected to everyone. Not a whole lot of pop-ups when you're using the video. Once you go in there the first time, it remembers you the second time, and you just literally click and it connects. And then the phone, it's enterprise-grade cloud PBX. So the same quality of voice that you've been used to in your previous solutions, you're not going to have that compromised in any way. We support toll-free numbers, vanity numbers, local numbers, and that's on a global perspective, guys. Your extension dialing, you still have that. The ability to route calls in a smart or an intelligent way, you have that. Self-service options are available, and there's quality service analytics. So if you're the IT guy or the administrator of the solution, you're going to be able to see how the solution is performing as a whole. But as an individual, I have analytics that I can look at. I can see how many outbound calls I've made, how many inbound calls I've made, what my messaging is looking like. So I have the ability to kind of customize my experience to be the way that works best for me. And I'm able to see how I'm doing. I like to say that a good employee is always looking at how can I better myself and how can I be in control of my own success. As mentioned, the messaging app and everything is all one. I do want to point out that we seamlessly integrate with OS 365 as well as G Suite. And you'll see that we've got over 200 business integrations. That's another differentiator for RingCentral. So we have over 200 out-of-the-box integrations. You might want to remember that. We've done about 2,500 custom integrations, and those are things that were a little bit more unique or specific to a particular business. And then if there's something that you need that your business absolutely has to have in order to be its optimal best, we have access to 25,000 developers around the world. So if we don't have the technical know-how in-house, we can cast a wider net to find someone to help us build that better mousetrap for you. I mentioned analytics and the ability to analyze everything and to see how the solution as a whole is performing. This is an example of what the administrator would be able to see. And you can have multiple administrators, and you can also determine how much or how little each of them are able to see. But you're able to see what endpoints are in use, what features are being utilized most often, what your quality of voice is looking like. But really, you're able to see the health and the wealth of the entire solution at the click of your fingers. The RingCentral platform is highly secure at every single level. So no matter what, from point to point, we are protecting your data, and we're protecting ourselves as well. On the bottom line there, you'll see high trust. We are a high trust certified organization, meaning that we've gone through a very rigorous evaluation process that looked at our infrastructure and looked at our security measures and gave us a stamp of approval. What this high trust also does for us is if a new certifications or new requirements come about, we're at the front of the line to receive those things because we've proven our infrastructure and our network to be so secure. For those of you that might be in a healthcare vertical, we do support HIPAA, so we are not HIPAA compliant, but we can provide you with a BAA that shows that we do not compromise your HIPAA requirements. And this is one of my favorite slides here. I feel like every department can benefit from RingCentral in some shape, form, or fashion, but there's some that really get a little bit more bang out of their bucks. And in this time that we've been experiencing where more and more people are working from home and working in remote environments, some areas that have been really benefiting from cloud. Sales in particular, you don't have to travel to meetings anymore. A lot of these meetings can be conducted just as we're doing today, over audio, over video, over a virtual platform. Human resources gets the most bang for the buck, in my humble opinion, because they're able to conduct their interviews utilizing the platform. But this also allows for them to hire the best possible employee and not necessarily be restricted to hiring the closest possible candidate. The other thing that's really great for HR is, let's say I've got 5 new people starting. I can create in our messaging or in our RingCentral app, I can create a team called New Hire 825. And in that new hire group, I can add all my new hires. I can put whatever documents they have to fill out on that first day or so. I can create a calendar, what tasks need to be completed on what day. I can even provide links to online and video-based training sessions that they might need to complete. And as they're getting those things done, that allows HR to see if they need to have traditional classroom training, when's the best time to schedule that once everyone has completed their task. It also lets them see how progress is being made toward completing those initial onboarding steps. So a lot of bang for HR. Marketing, we're doing a marketing event here today utilizing the platform. And I'm going to hop all the way down to pro services because I'm a trainer and I enjoy training. And I'm found that I am doing a substantial amount of training via the RingCentral platform or in these virtual environments. And they're a heck of a lot of fun to do. So I'm able to do that. I'm able to cast a much wider net. People are able to save travel dollars. Our organization is saving travel dollars. And then it just really allows for me to touch more people in a shorter amount of time without as much complication, if you will, that travel can sometimes present. Also think about it like this. There are times of the year in different parts of the country where the weather can be a restriction. So I know when I lived in the Midwest, if there was a blizzard and I had a trip planned, I may or may not be able to get out. So a virtual environment, having that as a business continuity option in the event that there's a weather or some other type of situation that prohibits people getting to a location, they will still have the technology and the tools they need to be successful and productive. So RingCentral, we want to empower your organizations to be able to have your people work anywhere they may happen to be, utilizing one solution that is easy as well as reliable for them. Your employees are able to collaborate with their teammates no matter where they may happen to be and be able to get things done. So if I'm part of a project team, I don't have to be in the same room in order for us to work together to get something done. And last but not least, IT and your administrators will be able to see advanced analytics to be able to assess how the platform is producing for you, but also integrate with other business applications and tools that are required for your business to be better, faster, more effective than it was on yesterday. With that, what questions can I answer for you? And Shannon, I am while I have the slide up, I can't see the or the Q&A. So if there are any questions in Q&A, let me know.
Feel free to unmute your mics and ask questions of the content that Sam just reviewed.
Okay. I'm going to turn it to Gary. If someone thinks of a question, we still have a few minutes. But I'll kind of wrap us up before we do the raffles or we do some questions for some money in a few minutes.
Thanks, Sam. Really great presentation. A lot of good information, obviously, in today's environment with COVID. I think a lot of this would be important for most people to understand the capabilities of RingCentral and what you can do to help enable your remote workforce, or at least give them the option to work remotely. So again, thank you. Thought it was very, very, very good. again, I'll ask, no questions about anybody. I know everybody is probably at home working, but was just curious if any questions at all, whether it's about iBank or RingCentral or anything in general, or any topic you guys might want to talk about. Okay. If not, I really thank everybody for joining us, and
Gary?
I'll let Sam. I'll let you run into the raffle now, right? So we have some giveaways, right? Okay.
Yes. All right. So here's how the giveaways are going to work. And usually with my sales, it's usually a very competitive environment. So I will be asking 4 questions. The first person to type in the answer, the correct answer, in the chat box is the person that will win that gift card. So I'm giving away 4 $100 gift cards. I think they're e-visas if I'm not mistaken. All right, so. All right, so the first question is, what percentage of CFOs plan to shift workers previously? Wow, I didn't even get the question out. Nice. So it looks like Caroline Leons, and forgive me if I pronounced that incorrectly, but you were the first one to get the correct answer in there. So Jason, please track that name for me. All right, so that's the first card gone. All right, the second question. How many out-of-the-box integrations does RingCentral have? Whoa!
Wow.
Own it. Paul is correct. We have 200 out-of-the-box integrations. So that's the second one. All right, number 3. Name one step in the iBank on IT 5-step process. Name any one of the 5 steps. M card has been, all right, I'm going to go with, implement is the first one that I see. Let me just make sure. Yep, implement is the first one that I see that is correct. So, Castana? Oh, forgive me. Castana. Okay. All right. So, Jason, you got that person down? All right. That is number 3 and my last question. All right. Name a department that would benefit from RingCentral. HR is in there. Jill McKibben. Nicely done, guys. Thank you all so much for playing along. And I love that there was so much enthusiasm. Sometimes people don't want to play, but you guys are a lively bunch. So I appreciate that very, very much. I'll turn it over to Shannon for any final words and or thoughts.
Thank you all for attending. We appreciate your time, and we're here. And Gary and Vlad and his team are here to answer any RingCentral questions that you may have after the presentation's over. So again, thank you very much, and hopefully you found this informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.